Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. I'm Ariel, and I will be doing your general reading for August 2019, Astrology and Tarot. I want to mention that this is a really new channel. If you enjoy the content, don't hesitate to subscribe, click like, give it a dragon claw up, and share it with your friends. Comment, please, as well. I'm very open to suggestion on what you might like to see on the channel in the future. I also want to point out this is a general reading. This will not resonate for every single Scorpio on the planet, but much of it will, and if it's not resonating with you, that means it's for some other Scorpio. If it does resonate with you, then it is the messages you're meant to hear. This will apply to Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So if it doesn't resonate with you personally as a Scorpio Sun sign, you might want to check your other sign placements and see the other videos that align with those signs. And also all cross-watchers are welcome, those being friends, family, loved ones of Scorpio Sun signs. So let's go ahead and dig into your general astrological chart for the month Scorpio, which is right here. This is a very powerful time with a lot of Leo energy coming into it this month. And for you guys, for you Scorpio, Leo is a challenging sign because it creates a square, what's called a square aspect to Scorpio. So you will definitely notice that this could be a little bit more tense, a little bit more friction, a little more challenge. However, all of that Leo energy begins the month in that house of Capricorn, and Capricorn is a sign that you are very comfortable with. It's a more serious sign, a more grounded sign. It also deals with work, higher career, public image, so don't be surprised if a lot of elements of work come up to the surface. However, because Leo kind of requires you to put on a show or make some sort of presentation, you might be getting more attention at work than you really want to, because usually you're the kind of sign that likes to work more behind the scenes and doesn't like to have to be up in front of everybody putting on a presentation. So don't be surprised if that comes to you. I would also say that Venus being in Leo, going through the career house this month, if you are at a job you don't love, if you'd really like to be doing something else that you do enjoy, that could definitely come into play where you say, I'm really tired of this job, I gotta get out of here, I need something that I love. Another way that this can manifest is also you might meet somebody that you get into a relationship with on the job. So that can be an interesting byproduct of Venus in the career house. We do start out the month of August with Mercury retrograde going direct, which is a very positive movement. So a lot of those kind of things that lagged and dragged throughout July are going to start gaining momentum again. And you'll definitely notice it even more so after August 15th. That is when Mercury leaves what's called its shadow point. So it goes in backward relative motion to the Earth. Then when it goes direct, it has to go all the way back to the degree that it was in when it went retrograde. Then we're totally out of the woods and we're feeling a whole lot better. The big full moon this month is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. That is also a sign that squares you, Scorpio. So don't be surprised if this moon sign will bring up a lot of deep-rooted issues, because that's hitting the soul line of your chart. You know, anything to do with children, anything to do with your own childhood origins or home roots, family ties, mom, dad, etc., all comes into play. So that could be a rather intense full moon for you on the 15th. And I will be doing full moon readings later in the month of August that will get a little bit deeper into that. So let's go ahead and we're going to pull a dragon card out of the Dragon Oracle deck. And I'm going to start by seeing which one of our elemental or etheric dragons want to come play with the sign of Scorpio for the month of August. A little itchy there. Oh wow, wow, so you got the green dragon that helps you tune into the secrets of nature, receive answers and guidance from nature, and align with your divine essence. So Scorpio, this is a little bit earthy, but this is also one of the higher dimensional dragons. So this is nature on a more spiritual level than just going outside and spending time in nature. That is part of it, but this is asking you to reach up on a higher degree. It's also very healing because of that green, healing kind of growing energy. So this is very regenerational as well. So definitely make time to get out in nature and tune into nature spirits, into nature energy. It's not just, oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, isn't this relaxing? It's like, oh, I feel something coming from this tree or that plant or that animal or that bird. So, just be aware of what you're feeling. Be aware of if you see any particular animals, flowers, etc., because they may be calling messages to you. So I'm going to pull now a card from the Animal Oracle and see which animal is best representing you for the month of August, Scorpio. Alright, so you got the Badger Spirit this time, Scorpio, which is beautiful for you. I love the fact that he is black and white, because I always say Scorpio people do tend to see things in black and white, not a whole lot of shades of gray. This is be bold and be fearless. Badgers are really known for that. That whole family is known for it. Everyone, of course, has probably laughed about like the honey badger on YouTube. But that little guy, it's all about that. He's very tough. He's very strong. He's very fearless. He's not afraid of predators bigger than him. And he goes for what he wants, remember? And this is a number 4 on this card. So to me, this is also about foundation. This is also about setting some boundaries, setting some roots. And it's interesting that that full moon is going to be coming back around in your 4th house, which is that number 4, it's that Cancer energy. And so to me, again, that's all about those home roots and home ties. So, that Leo, all those Leo planets going into your 10th house, this is about being bold and fearless. So be strong this month, Scorpio, and don't be afraid to ask for what you really want. And if you know that you're right about something, don't back down on it. Just stay the course. Even if somebody looks bigger and scarier than you, even if somebody is threatening or difficult or challenging, you have great ability to survive that. So now I'm going to pull one from the moon deck, and I'm going to see which moon phase comes through, because we did have that big full moon lunar eclipse last month in Capricorn, and that would have really done some triggering to your 3rd house of Gemini. And those lunar eclipse and solar eclipse patterns, they do have like a 6-month progression out. Those energies reverberate for quite some time. So let's see how this is starting to settle in, and maybe how you're seeing what came through during that time at this point. Well, very interesting, Scorpio, because we do begin that the month of August with that new moon in Leo, and you've got the new moon in Leo, so confidence is the key to success. Just like that Badger, this is really getting into, embracing kind of that fire element, that heart element, not being afraid to back down on something that you really want, and having the confidence to follow it through. Because this is a new moon, this also tells me that this is a beginning of maybe a new phase of confidence or belief in yourself that wasn't there before. So this is coming in now as part of your path with that lunar eclipse. Alright, Scorpio, so now we're going to go ahead and dive into the tarot, and we're going to see what comes up deeper for your progressed energy across this month of August. Dear angels, dear divine presence, all my helpers and healers, my guides, spirit angels, please come to me now and help us to bring a clear, complete message for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign of Scorpio for the month of August 2019. Okay, Scorpio, so this is definitely a time that you are looking at really taking a bit of a rest. You're kind of taking a break from the big action because you've gone through some disappointments, you've experienced some losses, not a complete loss, but you've definitely experienced some stuff. So you are not exactly feeling like you really want to jump up and get going again with it right now. That Five of Cups is coming up. It's crossed by the Four of Swords. So here you go. Right now, this is where you are. You're kind of contemplating the losses, but you need to make sure that you take into account as well that you also do have some really good things still in line for you. And this Four of Swords is saying take a rest, take a break. You know, you can take a rest from fighting that battle right now. Some of this has to do with some big decision making that you had in the past, in the immediate past. I think this past month of July definitely brought in some elements of maybe a broken commitment or taking a commitment to a next level or being given an ultimatum to make a commitment deeper. And so depending on how you took that, which I would say maybe you backed away or they backed away, you're now going through a time where it's like, I really need to regroup. I really need to relax and refocus on what I want to do here. Underneath there in that unconscious part of the mind, the subconscious that you may not be as aware of, there is definitely yet again that justice, that need for balance, that need for fairness and harmony, and, you know, bringing things back into a sense of equalness. It's crossed over by the High Priestess. So this is definitely a couple of strong cards. And you're kind of waiting on this because I always see the High Priestess as an energy that doesn't reveal everything, and you're definitely a sign that doesn't reveal everything right away either. So you're really mulling over some things right now, Scorpio. I really feel that you're kind of in a little bit of a retreat mode. But that doesn't mean, here's the higher mind, you know, that doesn't mean you're not thinking about how you're going to move forward and advance things. So you really have a relationship of some kind on the mind, and so if that's in a hiatus period, or you're not talking, or that's, you know, somehow there's something that's happened that's created a rift. I feel that this is, if you're a guy, this might be more of like the feminine element that sort of broke up with you, or if you're a lady, you might have been or if you see yourself as a more feminine kind of person, because these are not gender specific, but you might have been the one to break up something. So it's really, there's been some kind of a break of commitment, some kind of break of trust, or some kind of thing that's gone on. So you're still thinking about, well, how could I make this better? They might be thinking about how to make this better, but I really think this is mostly coming from you. It's like, can I make this work? Do I go forward, or do I just move on? Because this definitely is to do with some kind of a love relationship or partnership here. I'm going to pull just a few cards around that. Please clarify movement with this Two of Cups, please, Spirit. Yeah, there's a completion of a phase going on here. The World just popped out, the Knight of Cups, and then the Four of Wands. So wow, this is definitely interesting, Scorpio. So it really does get down to, there's been some kind of phase completed. So if there was a breakup or something and you think it's really over, but then something new, some new energy comes in, and either they're coming through with an apology, or you're coming through with saying, hey, things didn't go so good, let's try again. Because really the goal for you here is that happy home. That's really what you want. And this is definitely like a soulmate, twin flame kind of energy, because both of that Two of Cups and that Four of Wands are coming up, Scorpio, and both of those are very, very strong when it points to a soul-connected relationship. So going into the immediate future, we've got that Ten of Swords. So this is definitely, yet again, completion of a painful cycle, completion of a lot of mental anguish. You've really been sort of run through. So you're kind of like, I'm done. I'm so done. But there comes that Page of Cups, and that's definitely an indicator of an apology of some kind, or that you need an apology. You need something to come in and say, you know what, I'm really sorry that this went this way. And it's really up to you to be open and perceptive and receptive to that if it comes, because the only reason someone may not come in with that apology is because they were like, I really made you mad, ugh, and they don't want to deal with the retaliatory sting of Scorpio, which is very, very famous. So suggested approach to all this is complete transformation, and it's crossed by Temperance. So as you go through these very big cycles, Scorpio, I want you to keep in mind that you want to balance it, because death is a real complete, that is your energy, that is your deal, because Scorpio is a sign of death, rebirth, regeneration. So it's like, believe that when you have a death cycle in life, you're also going to have a rebirth cycle. You're famous for good regeneration. You have that ability in your sign. So it's crossed by that Temperance card. So it's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't clear yourself and your life so completely that there's just nothing left. This is telling me just keep a balance about it. It's good to cleanse and clear and purge, but it's also good to keep the things that were good and were working, because you don't want to just throw it all out so much that you go, oops, I didn't mean to throw that bit out. It's like, and then it might be too late. So just keep it in mind, Scorpio, as you do your clearing and your purging and your transforming, which is very important for you and very natural for your sign. But just keep in mind that you also balance how you do it. So Eight of Cups, yeah, you're definitely leaving behind some old emotional pain and some things that just weren't working out for you, and this is very natural. So this part of it, you really don't have to push it at all, and the Wheel of Fortune is crossing that. So what you need to know is that this is very natural. Whatever you're going through, you don't have to push the river. You don't have to make this big, huge, you know, really laborious or you know, major effort that wears you out or exhausts you, because the wheel is spinning. You know, better things, or at least different things, are coming in. And so as you naturally leave behind the things that didn't work, you know, it's like you're taking the choice to spin the wheel and try again. So hopes and fears, you know, this is getting into the beginnings of maybe a new business, maybe even new business for yourself. I do love all that 10th house energy for you, because that really shows up as, you know, your higher mind is on that career. It's on that, what do I really love to do? What do I like to do? So there is that thought, definitely about that. I think the only fear about that would be, is it going to work? Is it going to work? Because right now, you know, you might have planted some seeds and you're waiting for those ships to come in, and you're kind of like, are they going to come in? You know, so I'm actually going to pull a few cards around that too. Let's see what comes up around this Three of Wands. Please clarify. Page of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Spirit. What this can mean for Scorpio. Yeah, so right now, Scorpio, you really don't have all the information that you need. You're still waiting, you know, and this definitely, it's like you're waiting for some decisions to come back. You're kind of helpless, you're kind of trapped, you're stuck. And there's a lot of different ways that this could go. So this is definitely kind of, it's a little bit of hurry up and wait. Right now, you can't know it right now. So the outcome card is your Chariot. So this again, there's that beautiful balance again of black and white, yin and yang, masculine, feminine. And And this requires more learning, this requires more education, so there's a definite outcome of moving forward, and also that Queen of Wands coming in and laying over that. So the nature of this moving forward is to be more generous, more warm, more open. I think of her as very leonine energy because we've got so much Leo right now. It's really hitting you front and center. So in a lot of ways, this is what you're being asked to embody over the month of August as we travel ahead with all that Leo, is that it's like, here you are, sitting on that lion's throne, you know, feeling and looking very royal, being able to make some big decisions and recreate your life, and doing so with a lot of magnanimity and just a generous spirit, Scorpio. So I'm going to pull one Archangel Michael card for you for a last bit of advice. Alright, so detach from the situation. A lot of people have been getting this card from this deck this month, Scorpio, and you're yet another one. I think you're probably like third or fourth that's gotten this one so far. So yes, this is really a time, I think, where people are going to be very emotional, because the energy of Leo this month, it can be just colorful and dramatic and, you know, just a little more than we can take sometimes. Even if you're a Leo, it's a lot of energy. So this is saying, Archangel Michael, I ask you to use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama, so I may be centered in the knowing that peace is everywhere within me and the situation. And I definitely feel that you're in a situation with, you know, a spiritual relationship connection, and if it's been feeling really dramatic, if it's been feeling very heavy, because a lot of times when you have those kind of connections, it can feel really overwhelming. So this is the time, Scorpio, where you really want to ask Spirit and ask the universe to help balance that energy. If it's been really rough, take a little downtime and work through it in a more peaceful and more practical way. So a cooler mind is a good thing to have prevail. Have a wonderful month, Scorpio. I will be back later this month with more readings, and I hope you all take care. See you soon.